Hey guys, it's Kevin again. This is going to be another classic movie review for you guys, and this movie I'm going to be reviewing, I really was not sure what I was getting into with this movie. All I know is that it recently came out on Netflix. It's a movie I've really always wanted to see, and that movie is the 1977 uh, romantic drama classic Saturday Night Fever. Now, Saturday Night Fever, this movie I've always been interested in. I really wasn't sure if it was going to be good, though, because it's a dancicle. If you guys don't know what a dancicle is, there was a time in the 70s to the 90s when musicals weren't seen as cool. Like, they were completely, dead off the face of the earth. You had stuff like Hair and the Rocky Horror Picture Show, but, regular musicals, they really did not like them. So they created dancicles, which are still around today. They're basically movies that have dancing and singing in them, but use it as kind of like a cover up for a story, so it's not really a musical, but there's music in it. You know what I mean? Like, it's about music, but it's not a musical. Like, they don't burst out into song. It's basically a danceicle. And I thought this movie was going to be cheesy because last year I watched Footloose, and that was really cheesy. I really wasn't sure if how this movie was going to be, but I have to say this movie was actually amazing. I love Saturday Night Fever. I think Saturday Night Fever is a great movie, and something to know about this movie is that it's not just a dance movie. In fact, I think there's a lot more to this movie that I really didn't see that I thought was actually very good. And I definitely really enjoyed. And we're going to talk about a lot of things that happen in this movie. There's not actually a lot that happens in this movie that is not just dancing, and I definitely really love that about Saturday Night Fever. Let's get to the plot of Saturday Night Fever, because the plot I think is really cool. Because basically we focus on this guy, Tony Manero, who the whole movie, he is looking for basically his purpose in life. Because he's this young man who the only time he truly feels happy is when he is in this Brooklyn dance club. He is basically the star. He's turned up the dance floor and everyone loves him. Everywhere else, he's pretty much shit on. His parents are really, really don't support him. They think what his dreams are silly. They don't really care much about him, and they want him to have, a certain sort of background. And he works at this really bad, very small hardware store job where he has a really nice boss, but it's really just not anything that big. The only time he truly feels happy is in this dance club, and one day he meets up with this girl, um, Stephanie, who they basically decide to enter this dance contest, and it kind of makes Tony realize some things about himself and change some things. It also changes when his brother comes back into town, and it kind of basically decides to maybe turn his life around a little bit, kind of realize that his life is not going the way he wants it to go, and put a stop to it. And that's basically a plot of Saturday Night Fever. And the plot is actually, I didn't expect that to be a plot. I thought the plot was just going to be that he's, is this dancer, but there's a lot more substance to the movie than that. And I think a lot of what makes the movie so good is the acting. John Travolta, I have to say, I've seen him do some very good performances. I heard his early performances were not very good. He was fantastic in this movie, honestly. He had this down, Tony Manero, he had the character down to a T, really he did. I mean, you see the emotion, and he perfectly had the emotion down. I don't know if he could dance, but wow, if he can dance that way, that's awesome. I believe John Travolta really can dance like that. I mean, he did Grease and Hairspray, but I don't know. I believe he can dance that well, but wow, can he dance? He was awesome in this movie. He also had some really great emotional ones. I also loved his character because everyone is beaten on this guy, telling him that his dreams are stupid and that he's not going to go anywhere. And he realizes that that really doesn't matter. His dreams are to be this dancer and to pursue that dream of being a dancer. And Stephanie basically gets him to be that dancer. I really loved her character. I thought he was great with that. I love that he tried to follow his dreams and not really let anyone tell him that he can't. I thought that was great about him, and something that I think is a great message for anyone today. It kind of reminded me of Whiplash in a way. You know how Whiplash, the message is don't let anyone beat on you and tell you that you can't do something because you can. One of the worst things that you can do is tell someone they can't do what they can't tell someone to not follow their dreams. For example, my dreams are to be a Broadway performer. I constantly get shit on about. People are like, "Oh, you're not a good singer, you're not a good actor, you're not gonna make it. You have to have good grades." I don't care. I want to do it. And this movie shows that you don't need to, you don't need to listen to them. Like, people that say those things to you, you don't need to listen to them. You need to follow your dreams. You need to pursue them. And I thought that was a great message that the movie had. Something I loved about the movie, and I thought it was handled very, very well. It honestly might be one of my favorite John Travolta performances. I also loved the transformation of Tony as a character. I mean, when we first meet him, excuse me. Um, when we first meet Tony, he honestly is a dick. He really is. Like, he is legitimately a dick. He thinks he's the greatest thing ever on the dance floor, but that's pretty much because he doesn't get anywhere. He's not really supportive anywhere else. But he really becomes this nice man. I mean, he's a family man. He cares very much about his parents. He starts to realize that his friends are kind of dicks, and I thought that was really great about his character, definitely. And just as good as it was Karen Lynn Gorney as Stephanie. I loved her character. Their chemistry was one of the best parts of the movie by far. Because if their chemistry had not been as good, I wouldn't like their characters much. I love that she kind of got him to think to change himself a little bit. Think, show him that he's not such hot shit after all. I really like seeing that. And I thought their bonding was definitely very good in the movie. She has some really great emotional scenes, and I definitely love that about her character. Definitely something I thought was really good. Definitely something I enjoyed and I thought was very good about the movie. Um, Barry Miller, Joseph Callie, and Paul Pay pretty much play his friends in the movie that are complete idiots. And the movie is very funny in the beginning because they're joking around a lot and they think they're like the best things ever. But the thing is, they're not teenagers, they're 19, and I like what the movie's trying to show that eventually Tony starts to realize that his friends are immature idiots and that he doesn't need to hang around them anymore. I thought their characters were very well done with that. I mean, they're about as immature as you can get. They constantly, like, anytime they see him with Stephanie, they're trying to flirt with her and have sex with her. All they care about is sex, dancing, smoking. That's like all they care about. It's pretty much what you can think of a rebellious 70s group, and it still relates to today. That's something I didn't think the movie would do, but again, it relates to today, and I thought that was really great about the movie, and I love that. Um, Everyone else was really good. I really want to talk about Val. I want to talk about his whoever played his brother, Martin Shaker as his brother. I loved his character because he actually told him to not be afraid to pursue his dreams. That he really does have a future as a dancer. And Tony at first thinks he's kidding, but he really starts to realize that he might have a future as a dancer. I thought that was really good with his character. I definitely really liked Martin Shaker, and I thought he was definitely a really good character. I definitely really enjoyed that. I have to say he was really good in the movie. Also, the ending of the movie I thought was really, really good. I definitely really enjoyed that. But now let's get to the directing by John Badham. I thought his directing was really good to this movie, definitely, because he basically thought could have made a really cheesy movie. He definitely could have. The way the movie's directed, though, is not that way at all. It's definitely something I love seeing. In fact, there's some really good stuff that happens in this movie that I definitely loved his direction. His direction was really good. The tone was really good. And honestly, I like they tried to make this movie appeal to more than just people that are into dance. Honestly, I think this movie should be watched by everyone because it really shows why you should pursue your dreams and why those are important and why you shouldn't let anyone get you down. It really shows very well in the movie. I thought that was really good here. Probably the best part of this movie, though, is the screenplay. The screenplay is so good. I didn't expect the screenplay to be as good as it was, but honestly, this is a fantastic screenplay. The screenplay is so good to this movie. There are points where this movie doesn't feel like it's dialogue. It feels like it's just, it feels like a thing characters are saying. But something I love with the screenplay was just, as I said, his transformation into this role. It's a really good screenplay and it wasn't cheesy. I was expecting these lines to be really, really cheesy, and they weren't. They were actually very good lines. They weren't cheesy. I could take this movie seriously. I was surprised by how into this movie I was, but I really was. And like things like Footloose, Dirty Dancing, yeah, I love those movies. Dirty Dancing, I think, is not really cheesy, but Footloose is definitely cheesy. And yeah, I can have fun with the, cheesy dancicles and things like that. But this movie's a lot more than just cheesy movies, and I thought that was really good that it wasn't just a cheesy movie. I thought the screenplay was really good because that had the screenplay not been as good, I might not have enjoyed the movie as much. Something else that was really distinct about the movie that I definitely also really enjoyed was the cinematography. Um, in the beginning of the movie, there's this really good shot of like cities and just like just like cities, and we see him, and it kind of shows how he's this little fish in a big city, and how no one really. He's kind of like a nobody to everyone. But then you see him in the nightclub, and they focus mainly just on him because he's the big star there. And it's a lot of fun. I do have to say, the movie, I don't want you guys to think this movie is just a dramatic movie because it's very dramatic, but there's a lot of fun to be had in this movie, definitely. And that's because of the score. Now, let's be honest. It's no secret that the score of Saturday Night Fever is one of the best scores of all time. It is. It honestly is a great score. Even though there's like 5 songs throughout the movie, I don't care. The score is so timeless. The music's awesome. Everyone knows the Bee Gees. Honestly, everyone knows the Bee Gees. The Bee Gees is a great group. They have some awesome songs, and I love listening to their music throughout the movie. They're one of the best parts of the movie. The dancing and the music is great, which is understandable because the movie's about that, but and I'm not trying to be cliche, I'm not trying to be like, oh, the dancing is the best part. It really is truly one of the best parts of the movie. Just seeing him have fun in his element, being able to be who he wants to be in this nightclub is one of the best things to see because you really start to care about his character. If you legitimately enjoy this movie, you're going to care about his character. That's something I'm going to say. You're going to care about his character, and that's something I thought was really great about the movie. Definitely something I really enjoyed as well. I thought that was really great, and I really did love that. And I didn't feel they spent too much time on the dancing. In fact, there are tons of scenes that don't focus on the dancing, and they're not boring. They're good scenes, honestly, because you start to see a transformation of him. That's something else I was really good about the movie. It also has this great message of you can turn your life around. If you don't like the way your life is going, you can turn it around. The end of this movie is an awesome ending because he completely, I'm not going to spoil it, but pretty much he completely turns his life around. He basically, I mean, it's a great way to end the movie. I love the way the movie ends as well. This movie had a really shitty sequel called Staying Alive, which I heard was terrible, but it basically goes with what would happen at the end of this movie, that he goes to pursue his dancing dreams. I heard it's a terrible movie, but I like that the movie does leave you with that message of he is going to pursue his dreams. I thought that was really great, and I definitely really enjoyed that as well. That's something I thought was very good. And overall, guys, I really love Saturday Night Fever. I was surprised by how much I love this movie. I highly recommend you guys check out this movie. If I had to grade this movie, to be honest, 4.5 out of 5 or an A. I really have no problems with this movie whatsoever. I will admit this movie does get very, very crazy. And I just want you guys to know that the movie does get very crazy toward the third half of the movie. There are some really crazy things happen. But honestly, it needed to happen. It didn't feel like it was dumb that it happened. It felt like this stuff that happened in the movie, it needed to happen, and I can understand why it happened. But overall, guys, this is my review Saturday Night Fever. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you guys saw this movie. You have seen it. Also, I really loved how this movie also dealt with, and something I also want to say about the movie is that this is a movie that is timeless, but also good for its time because it's timeless in the sense of its message, but it's good for its time because it's really funny to see the dance moves that were around the 70s. Let's be admit are really cheesy. They're really fun to watch, but yeah, they were kind of cheesy, honestly. The dancing is kind of cheesy, but you know what? That's how the 70s were. It wasn't seen cheesy back then. It's just we make fun of disco now. I don't see why. I mean, it's a fun dance. I mean, to me, it was just fun. A lot of people think, oh, disco's terrible, but I just found it fun, honestly. I had fun with this movie. You can have fun with it, but you also get a great story. If you watch this movie, you're going to have fun with it, but you're also going to get a really impactful message, which is something I thought was really good with the movie and something I really enjoyed. But that's basically my review. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you guys saw this movie. You have seen it. I highly recommend you guys check out this movie. Really, check out this movie. I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did, but I love this movie. I really did. And yeah, I did know some of the message because of Glee. They did an episode all about Saturday Night Fever, and so like the message of the movie. But Glee's like the cheesiest thing ever, so I thought they weren't being serious about it. But it legitimately is a very good movie, and I highly recommend you guys check it out. But that's my review. Hope you guys enjoy it. I'll see you guys in my next video, which will be for another Tony-nominated soundtrack review, and I will see you guys for that, because 2 came out, and I gotta listen to both of them today, and I will see you guys for that. Okay, bye.